Hey everybody, I'm back with another process video, and this video is called Ride Home. I'm going to tell you about some of the products I'm using. I am pulling some paper from the My Mind's Eye, those 6x6 paper packs, and one of them is called Market Street and the other one's called Necessities. And I'm also going to use, and you see me show you there, some of these, well, these were some of the items that I thought I would use, but I do end up using those cool little font letters by Pink Paisley, so I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to start with some textured cardstock. Now I cut this cardstock down by 8.5 by 11, and that picture is of a street that I often drive down when I'm on my way from work, and you know, I end up getting in traffic. Sometimes there's a lot of construction on my way home, and it's all new construction, and I found this little back street, and at first I was really scared to to take it because it actually leads into a little part of the area that's a little bit more secluded. That won't be for too long because of all the development that's coming up. But the first time that I drove down this road, it was during the fall, and so all the leaves had turned these beautiful colors, and it was just gorgeous just driving through there. So I just decided, hey, you know, if traffic backs up, then I will just go down this one particular street, and it spits me out on the thoroughfare that I need to be on to go home. So probably a couple of days ago, no, it was last week, I was driving down this road and noticed that the trees were just so beautiful and green, and so I stopped and took a picture because there's no traffic, it's a little country road, so I stopped and took a picture. So that's what I'm scrapbooking, and I'm going to journal on that tag, that brown tag, or cardstock? No, it's not cardstock. I can't think of the name of it. That brown tag, I'm actually going to put my journaling on that tag and just tuck it in. I'm going to talk about how it just feels really nice to drive down this road, and I turn my radio to classical music, and I just slow down because I think the speed limit's like 20 miles per hour. And I just go slow and just enjoy that little half-a-mile ride before it spits me out back into traffic. All right, so I'm taking some papers. That little cork paper that you see there, I want to say that's from Studio G. That was kind of in my stash. And then I also cut 2 strips from the My Mind's Eye paper collection. I'm also going to cut some vellum. I'm going to layer up these strips. And I found this layout on Pinterest, and it's actually by Maggie Holmes for Studio Calico. And I love Maggie Holmes. She has just the best products and the best ideas. And so I lifted this, and I'll post a link to the Pinterest, or at least I guess I could post the link directly from the Studio Calico website. So I'll post that below if you're interested. And so I tweaked it a little bit to fit my photo because on her layout, she had her photo in a vertical orientation and mine is horizontal. So I'm simply just cutting out these pieces of pattern paper and layering up these strips. And I'm thinking at this point that I want to use some rub-ons, but that ultimately doesn't happen. So on her layout, she uses these exact little font tiles. I think they kind of look like tiles, don't they? Little pointy tiles. And those are from Pink Paisley. And I believe they're called Pen Pals. It's from the Pen Pals collection. And I'm going to spell out my title. So I spell out my title that says Ride Home. And I get out my basket of stamps, which you can't see that well. And what I'm looking for is on her layout, she has a little strip there. As you notice, that little blue strip that I have there at the bottom. And I think she cut it either from a marketing strip or maybe it was a piece of pattern paper, but it had numbers growing across it. And I didn't have anything like that. So I simply just found some pattern paper that would go well with the color theme of my layout. And I grabbed some stamps, one from the Basic Gray Hello collection, and the other one is from an exclusive stamp that I got with Scraptastic. And that added just a little bit of dimension. And the ink that I'm using is from Dewdrops. It's called Paris Dusk. Now I'm looking for an embellishment to go on that left-hand side. And I do apologize for the sun shining. Well, I don't apologize for that. The sunshine is beautiful. It's not obstructing our view of the layout. So the sun was coming in the window, so that was really pleasant. So I changed up that die cut. First it was an ampersand, and then it was a bicycle. I'm not riding my bike down the trail, so that didn't make sense. And so I've been wanting to use that little bird, and that is from Simple Stories. So I get out my So Many, and what I want to do to add a little bit more texture to these layered strips is I'm going to sew a line of stitching in the middle, And Maggie Holmes does this on her layout as well, the original layout. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm not a sewer. As long as it looks good, I'm good with it. And my Sew Mini was behaving today because sometimes it gives me a fit, which is why I don't use it often. And I also discovered that, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but we're moving in June, and we're moving to a 3-bedroom apartment, and it's temporary as we're finishing up saving to buy a house. And but we needed that 3rd room badly. So we went ahead, paid a little bit more rent to get that 3rd room. And so Bree and I are going to split that room. And so I get half of a room for my scrap space. And I just decided I need to have a space to put my sewing machine and other things, because I've had to move it off my desk a few times lately when I want to use it. So you see me adhering everything down on that piece of basil cardstock, texture cardstock, and it's looking great so far. I love these types of layouts because it looks like you just grabbed a bunch of stuff and just, without any plan, you just slapped it on a page and it looks great. And of course, I'm type A, so everything has to be perfect on the page. And when I see other scrapbook artists put these types of pages together, it just looks so effortless. Okay, so that die cut arrow, I want to say that's from I Am Collection by Simple Stories. And then I'm going to add another strip at the bottom of that text paper and some vellum. And the vellum is from Recollections, I believe. Now on Maggie Holmes's layout, she puts the strips of paper that are underneath the photo on top of the photo, and that just didn't look good to me, so I put it underneath my photo. And I do a little journaling at the top. This is my ride home, and I'm using a pen that's not necessarily as thin as I want it to be, so when I put it down, I'm like, oh, that just seems so heavy there at the top. But you know what? It's there. I'm not going to change it. It is there, and I'm okay to live with it. I think I'll be okay with it. So I do my journaling, pop that back into that little small little pocket envelope, and that is also from Recollections from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to move everything up, and I'm going to add my title. And the title reads, of course, Ride Home, as I mentioned. And I thought it was so cool. I thought I got rid of these because I hadn't used them. I've had them forever. And I thought, you know what? One day I'm going to probably use them. So I'm glad that I saved them. So I was looking through my Roll-A-Date stamps because I wanted to stamp something at the bottom. And so instead I grabbed a stamp from Scraptastic. It's exclusive to the kit, and it has my view going around in a circle. So that was perfect. And I thought I would just create a small cluster there at the bottom, but what I'll do is move that turquoise strip with the numbers up a little bit. And then I found some silver sparkly embellishments from Heidi Swap in my stash. All of this is from my stash. And decided to add those to the bottom because I didn't want that stamp to be hanging out lonely there. So I put it there to the side. And I think I might cut off one of those hearts because things in odd numbers look better to me. I don't know. I'll probably leave it. So that acrylic arrow is from Scraptastic. That's exclusive to the kit. So I put that there to add a little bit of direction since, I'm driving while I'm taking this photo. So I thought that was appropriate. And then I needed something at the top because I felt it was a little bit too empty up there. So I cut another strip of that pink and white pattern paper from My Mind's Eye. And then I add a little bit of vellum at the top to add a bit of texture. And then I thought I had some vellum at the bottom originally, but I think I cut it and used it at the top. So I added a little bit more there. And I'm checking my phone, and there's the original layout. I'm checking it against mine, and I love this layout. It is so pretty. Of course, I think Maggie's is prettier, but this is so, so pretty. All right, guys, thanks so much. Some photos are coming up. Have a great day.